Hey, what up, guys? I'm coming to you this morning with the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury aftermath, the rematch that took place on Saturday, February 22nd. It's a little over a week later. I know everybody's been waiting, some of my subscribers have been waiting for me to talk about this fight in detail, give my honest opinion on it. Sorry, it's been a crazy-ass week, guys, so, I'm sorry I'm barely getting to it, but I did end up catching the fight. I was watching it as I drove home from a tournament with me and my fiance, and it ended up being surprised as hell. Tyson Fury dominated the action, stopped Deontay Wilder in the 7th round to capture the WBC world title. So, what did I think of the fight? I was very surprised by it. Everybody knows I picked Deontay Wilder to win this fight by knockout. And honestly, I thought it would be less than 6 rounds that he was going to knock him out. But, I did say about Tyson Fury, if he was willing to, push the action and make Wilder fight off of his back foot, that he could win. He had to be in and out, and he actually did one better. He just stayed in pretty much the whole time. It wasn't popping in and out. It was just effective aggressiveness. I mean, he was on Deontay and smothering his punches and stuff and wasn't letting him punch with full extension like Deontay likes to do. So, just a very strong performance out of Tyson Fury as he let everybody know that he's the #1 heavyweight in the world right now. So we'll get into this a little bit more in detail. Let's look at both sides of it. Let's start with Deontay Wilder and his overall performance and my overall opinion on what he's saying, the aftermath of what he's saying. Excuse me. So, first off, he's making excuses. Well, let's look at his performance in the ring first. My overall opinion on why he lost the fight was, I went into the fight saying I've never seen Deontay more confident. I think he was overconfident. I think he was expecting to win. He was expecting to land a big right hand. And honestly, I think he was expecting Tyson Fury to fight off his back foot because that's what Tyson Fury does best. He's a mover. And I don't think he was expecting this kind of performance at all. And he definitely was surprised as Fury fought a totally different fight than what was expected, and Deontay did not know what to do. And I think Fury putting his weight on him and pressing Deontay because Fury is so much bigger than him. I also think Wilder coming in a little heavier. I think he came in about 20 pounds heavier than he did the first time around, and Fury came in about 20 pounds heavier than he did the first time around. So, but putting more weight on himself, Deontay, I think, hurt him a little bit too. And once he felt the weight of Tyson Fury and his own weight on top of it, his legs went. And he was also getting busted up and beat up. And, he could not extend his hand. He wasn't boxing. He couldn't extend that right hand all the way he wanted to. And he landed a couple, but just not with the force and not perfectly timed like he usually does, because most of his perfectly timed shots are coming forward. Most of his perfectly timed right hands are him coming forward, stepping into him. And he wasn't able to do that. So, in the ring, that's what happened and led to his downfall. The whole issue with his corner stopping the fight, they made the right call. His cornerman should be commended for that. His cornerman, his trainer was looking at him saying, I need right hands, because he was desperate and knew going into that 7th round that Wilder's pretty much done. He needed to land one big shot to finish it, to have any kind of chance, and it just wasn't happening. He was getting pummeled. He was beaten up, and his corner did the right thing, threw in the towel. That was a smart move. The referee was about to jump in anyway, so it didn't matter. And, all the shit that he, after the fight, he was saying, oh, I wish my corner would have let me go out on my shield. I'm a warrior. You know what? That's fine being a warrior. I understand that mentality, but those guys are there to protect you. And he shouldn't have thrown them under the fucking bus. It shouldn't even have been an issue, because I just read the other day that he's going to stay with his trainer. That shouldn't even be an issue. You should be sucking that guy's dick for life and staying with him. because he protected you. You know, and that's what I hate. As some of these guys, they blame the trainer for why they lost or for making decisions in the corners like they're supposed to make. And it was inevitable. The corner doing that did not impact the end of the fight. The fight was going to end anyways. You know, he possibly helped his future out by protecting his fighter, and that's what he's supposed to do. So Deontay, bullshit on that. You know, then he yells, I'm not trying to make any excuses, but then he made nothing but excuses. And then he made the biggest excuse of all time, which was my costume weighed 30 pounds and that wore me down and my legs were gone by the time I got in the ring, or by the second round was over. You know, I even if that's true, say that's true, right? Okay. Like, he didn't fucking try that costume on in advance to know how heavy it was. You know, he didn't know it was going to weigh that much. Nobody told him. What a fucking crock of shit. You know, you lost, own your loss, and that's it. And this is not a Deontay Wilder thing. I did not respect Manny Pacquiao for immediately after the Mayweather fight saying he had shoulder injury. He ended up getting shoulder surgery. I understand why he went through with the fight. He could say, hey, you know what? My shoulder was bothering me prior to the fight, but say that later and say it graciously. Say, hey, we all have injuries going into the fight. I lost, you know. Mayweather was the better man that night. That's it. You know, you get in the ring, no fucking excuses, you know, and he got his ass whipped. That's plain and simple. He was expecting to win. He was overconfident, and Deontay got his ass whipped. That's it. According to him, he's exercised his rematch clause because the loser of the fight had an automatic rematch clause if they wanted it. He's exercising that. So that fight's going to happen again later this year. You know, I don't know if it's the right decision or not, but I think Deontay needs that for his confidence. He still could win. He still could land that big punch, and he still could win. He's absolutely going to go into the rematch as the underdog, though. And maybe that's the role he needs. Maybe he needs to go in as the underdog and people thinking he's going to lose instead of win. Maybe he could surprise some people then. We'll see. But Tyson Fury now, let's look at his side of it. What do I think about his overall performance? Fucking awesome. One of the best all-time performances, hands down. The guy deserves a fucking medal for what he did. He fought his ass off, you know, and really impressed everybody by pressing forward, smothering him, and just making it a tough, rough fight. Wilder can make the excuses, another one. The referee let him get away with too much. You know what? Kenny Bayless is one of the greatest referees of all time. He made the right call. He fucking was on him. He separated him when he needed to. But Wilder fought a rough fight. It wasn't a dirty fight. I mean, Fury did. Fury fought a rough fight. It wasn't a dirty fight. He did what he had to do. He, landed some good shots. He beat him up, busted his eardrum, beat up Deontay Wilder. So Tyson Fury, absolutely great performance. I thought he could win. I thought he could win by knockout, wearing him down late, but he pressed forward, put himself in harm's way, and still dominated the action, and just such a great performance. Again, heading into the rematch, it looks like the rematch is going to happen. If he heads into the rematch, he's going to be the heavy favorite. He's the number one heavyweight in the world now. He'll be a good size favorite heading in, because you got to look at it like this. These guys now have fought 19 rounds, and my argument is he's won pretty much 16 to 17 rounds, you could argue. The only 2 rounds he lost were the 2 rounds he got knocked down in the first fight. Fury is the baddest and best heavyweight in the world right now. He's the new WBC heavyweight champion, and he put it on Deontay Wilder and left no doubt. Now he's got to do it again in a rematch. We'll see. Should be interesting. We don't know when yet, but it looks like that fight's going to happen again for sure. And I can't wait. I definitely will pay. It could go either way again. So, we'll see what happens. But great performance by Tyson Fury. All right, guys. That's the Fury Wilder 2 aftermath. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing. Been here with the truth.